Good evening to you. A shorter programme than usual tonight, but time nonetheless to show highlights of 3 games and a total of 12 goals. The usual quota of entertainment at Anfield. And how about this from a fullback? Phil Neal showing all the balance and control that Kenny Dalglish will be proud of. It was that sort of occasion, Liverpool against Stoke. We've also got Everton away to Sunderland. The Everton manager Howard Kendall showing concern here as Andy King is stretchered off, and with some justification. King has damaged knee ligaments and will miss next week's FA Cup quarter-final against Manchester United. We've got the goals too from another First Division match, that's Notts County against Spurs, and the answers to last week's competition.
Tonight's headline maker is Frank Stapleton, who gives Manchester United a 2-1 win in the local derby at City. He heads both goals, this winner coming 30 minutes from time. That's 4 goals Frank has scored against the Blues this season. And I'll have a full news roundup later in the programme.
But we start with Liverpool surely on their way to retaining the championship. Although in the last couple of weeks the results have been disappointing. Their opponents at Anfield is Stoke City, the commentator Martin Tyler.
Mark Chamberlain's presence gives Stoke City more potential in attack, indeed in attitude, than they showed without the England winger here in the FA Cup 5 weeks ago. Since Chamberlain's return from a pulled hamstring, Stoke have beaten Brighton and Manchester United, achievements which in the last fortnight have been beyond Liverpool. And this is the side that has won those last 2 games. Liverpool are also unchanged, despite 1 or 2 scars, mental as well as physical, from their midweek European Cup visit to Poland. Ian Rush reaches the milestone of his 100th league game. John Key from Rotherham is refereeing at Anfield for the very first time. Stoke City are unbeaten since the cup tie here. Going through the unfamiliar experience of 4 games without a win. Nicely played by Neal for Lee. Johnson had gone ahead of Rush. Keeps the move going. Whelan had to be strength in the header. Souness, Dalglish with too much strength in his. Neal, some acrobatic control. Guided it on as well. So too did Rush. Dalglish trying to get in front of Berry and does so. Neal. Dalglish has 2 in the middle, Rush and Whelan. Souness arriving as well. And here's Whelan. It fell in the area, just too far ahead of Ron Whelan. O'Callaghan beaten by Hansen. Here's Kennedy. Took too long, was robbed by Painter. Bracewell over-hitting his pass forward in Painter's direction. Dalglish came short, Souness couldn't find him. Thomas. Hansen trying to shrug off Painter and some shirt pulling. Hansen had used his body to good effect to make sure Painter couldn't get round him. Liverpool's recent hiccups, of course, have been in cup competitions. Berry. Goes back where it came from, Craig Johnston. Rush, Watson was tight on him, no free kick given. And then Hampton rather, at full stretch, trying for the back pass. Stoke have left Craig Johnston. It's over his head. Neal. It's McElroy who got a foot in. Hansen. Dalglish. Whelan is the Liverpool player jumping. Dalglish collects. It's gone. Alan Hansen starting it off, coming from deep. Dalglish with the first touch, and he read the header from Whelan. Painter needs some help. Might keep it in. Let's get away from Lawrenson and Lee for a moment. Neil there to pick off the cross. And pick out Dalglish. Bracewell. Driven in by Parkin. O'Callaghan beaten by Lawrenson. It was an important header for Mark Lawrenson to win then. Stoke had players arriving in the middle. If O'Callaghan had been able to knock it back across the goal. Hansen. Off goes Rush. And one pass picks him out. Now Berry went clattering into Ian Rush. The referee wants to speak to him. Rush fell into the area. Mark Lawrenson using the direct route. It was a clear push on Ian Rush. Dalglish. He could hardly have hit it harder. Enough to make Kenny Dalglish blow out his cheeks as it flashed wide. Here's Berry. That was given away, and Whelan's pass has freed Dalglish. Three converge on him. Dalglish couldn't keep it down. A little gesture of apology to Rush. O'Callaghan. McElroy. Here comes Parkin. Chamberlain started wide on the right, as you would expect, but on a couple of occasions already has pushed into a more central position. He's also got a useful long throw, which has brought Stoke a corner. Paul Maguire has been left out of the Stoke side in recent matches. He's the expert at corners, but Ian Painter strikes a good ball as well, and O'Callaghan waits on the near post and gets a touch, which McElroy might have done better with at the far post. Johnston. Past O'Callaghan, and it's deflected off Berry. Stoke so useful at corners, and O'Callaghan got the flick on here, but twisting, McElroy miskicked. Rush. Here's Neil. Well, it was deflected, and off the post. It's Phil Neal's goal. Liverpool had 2 strokes of luck in it. The first was the touch off Bracewell, and the second was the way the ball spun off the post. Only 5 of Phil Neal's 10 goals for Liverpool this season have come from penalties. Neil again. Dalglish. Movement for Stoke around Thomas. And the crowd particularly appreciative of any tackle that Kennedy makes on Chamberlain. time. Parkin. It's Whelan who got a foot in. It's Rush who's away. Dalglish is in the middle. Rush was trying to find him. Fox just got on his line quickly enough. Chamberlain just breaking into a sprint as the half-time whistle goes. Liverpool leading 2-0. More than a touch of fortune about the second from Phil Neal. But the mood of the half set by Kenny Dalglish scoring after 7 minutes. Dalglish playing this clever 1-2 with Ronnie Whelan, and the referee overruling a linesman's flag for offside, not against Dalglish, and the goal. Kenny Dalglish then with a goal to celebrate the day after his 32nd birthday. And away go Liverpool for the second half. Craig Johnston, much happier, more central role in midfield. He had to fill in for Ronnie Whelan for a spell, wide on the left-hand side. Stoke have never won a First Division game at Anfield. And it's going against them again here. Hansen. Thomas at full stretch, aware that Johnston was looking to get forward behind him. Ricky Thomas is Stoke's top scorer with 7 goals. Dalglish. This piece of defending by Dave Watson. Souness. Came for Lee, and now for Rush. And Dalglish. 3-0. Less than 2 minutes played in the second half. It's the 19th of the season for Dalglish. It was something of a fortunate touch it seemed from Souness, but it was effective to find Lee. Rush was in the clear, and it dropped off Berry right on the line for Dalglish. Lawrenson showing exemplary control. Just cushioned the ball on the instep as it dropped. Parkin. Chamberlain did well to manufacture a cross from that position. O'Callaghan got it back, and Bracewell turns it over the line. Grobbelaar and Lawrenson got in each other's way. It all started with a fine cross from Mark Chamberlain. O'Callaghan beyond the far post got it back. Grobbelaar was off his line. And Bracewell accepts the credit for the goal. Stoke want to make a substitution. Ian Painter is coming off David McCourtry, 20-year-old Scot, who is a central defender. Comes on. And he goes alongside Watson, and Stoke have pushed George Berry up into attack. It's a move that they often do. Dalglish battered to the ground. A combination of Parkin and McCourtry. But up to win the corner. Kennedy. There before O'Callaghan. Kennedy. The spin might favour Rush. McCourtry just got his head to it to divert it behind. Souness. Dalglish. Oh, it's dangerous to let him turn in here. Rush. Well, it was one pass that nearly took out 5 defenders. Stoke paying Dalglish respect and not diving in case a penalty might be the result. It was a little angled ball there that Rush almost reached. Berry. McElroy, useful ball for Chamberlain, who is offside, and Stoke protest. Certainly players in both camps have been disappointed with the linesman at times in this game. Rush deliberately let it run. Watson was alive to that. Bracewell finding Hansen too quick for him. Just to check over the shoulder from Hansen to see whether O'Callaghan was gaining on him, which he wasn't. Whelan. Stopped by Bracewell. Here's Chamberlain, past Kennedy this time. Faced by Whelan. It's Lawrenson who half cleared. Parkin. O'Callaghan. And Grobbelaar. O'Callaghan had the arm raised in an optimistic appeal for the goal. Grobbelaar certainly lost his balance and his bearings. Bruce Grobbelaar, it must be said, has had a fine season, but he's going through a spell at the moment where mistakes are being costly to him, and he stumbled then. Although he went behind the line, the ball didn't. Here's Rush. Now Whelan. Johnston's around the penalty spot. Souness was trying to find him. And Thomas scuttling forward for Stoke. But the pass lacked the energy of the run. And then Neil, too responsible for the move, breaking down after covering some ground. Stoke's attempts to get Chamberlain into the game haven't always been successful. Neil, well played. Still Phil Neal. Well, this could be one for the archives from Dalglish. McCourtry was struck by the ball rather than the other way around. Dalglish wanted a penalty. Phil Neal set off here on a show of great enterprise and dribbling skill as well, and how significant that Mark Chamberlain was one of the players he left sitting on the ground. But no penalty given as Dalglish drilled it against McCourtry's arm. "15 minutes left. Lee. Here's Kennedy. Perhaps encouraged by Neil's little burst forward. And Kennedy was setting himself and is still in there. And Johnston. Well, that just about sums up the goal. And the scorer points to the part of the body that put it in. Alan Kennedy well to the fore, and it ricocheted in off Johnston, off the left rib cage. Liverpool 4, Stoke 1, 14 minutes left. Well, Liverpool have felt that in their less than impressive run in recent matches. The breaks haven't gone their way, notably when they were beaten here by Brighton in the FA Cup. They certainly can feel that their fortune has changed, typified by the goal that will be credited to Johnston. A Liverpool crowd of just over 30,000. Dalglish. Watson had a wave at him. Souness! Liverpool give their supporters the finale. Dalglish at the core of it again. He has tortured Stoke once more. And even Watson's kick at him there couldn't hold up the creator. And Souness supplied the accuracy in the finish. The elusiveness of Dalglish enabling Souness to run free and shoot home. Despite their recent stumbles in cup fixtures, Liverpool are certainly not veering off course in the championship race. 2 goals for Dalglish and a part in others as well. Phil Neal, Craig Johnston and Graham Souness on the score sheet. Paul Bracewell for Stoke. A final score, it's Liverpool 5, Stoke City 1.
A contrast to the 2-0 defeat for Stoke in the FA Cup at Anfield back in January. Manager Richie Barker may disagree, but I thought today his side showed far more flair and enterprise despite the 5-1 defeat. A successful day for Liverpool's Milk Cup final opponents, Manchester United. Ron Atkinson won his first Manager of the Month award at Old Trafford, then claimed his first derby win. Surprisingly though, City, still without a victory under John Benson, went ahead with this Kevin Rees header in the first half. The equaliser was headed by Frank Stapleton 4 minutes after the interval, following excellent work from Steve Coppell. And then, with 30 minutes left, Stapleton scored the winner from a Coppell corner. Again, it was a header. United's Remy Moses was booked, putting him beyond the 20 points mark, but he'll be available to play in the Milk Cup final and next Saturday's FA Cup tie with Everton. United still in third place, a point behind Watford, who became the first side to win at Coventry in 3 months with a goal from Les Taylor. A goalless draw for Nottingham Forest at Arsenal. Gary Shaw got Aston Villa's decider in the 3-2 win over Norwich. Southampton, bottom of the table in the autumn, make the top 6, beating Swansea 2-1. David Armstrong scored the winner.
Johnson in the inside left channel. And Sharp, and that was definitely a chance he should have taken.
Welcome back. Plenty of goals and excitement still to come, but first let's catch up with more of today's news with Dennis.
Queen's Park Rangers striker Clive Allen scored a hat-trick over Middlesbrough. 6-1 the final score, enough to put Rangers a point behind leaders Wolves, who surprisingly drew 1-1 at home to Cambridge. Draws for Leicester, Oldham and Sheffield Wednesday. Barnsley beat Bolton 3-1 and Fulham lost 1-0 at Burnley, the third London side to go down at Turf Moor in 8 days. Brian Flynn scoring the 22nd minute winner. And it takes him out of the bottom 3 for the first time in 3 months. And on the day, Frank Casper becomes the second division manager of the month. Draws for Carlisle, Cambridge and Derby. And Middlesbrough still without a league win in 1983. The second division's top scorer, Kevin Drinkle, was sent off in Grimsby's 1-1 draw with Sheffield Wednesday. Also dismissed Derek Fazackley of Blackburn in the 2-1 defeat at Leeds. Former Rovers fullback Kevin Hurd got the last-minute winner. Portsmouth stay top of the third division despite a goalless draw at bottom club Preston. Lincoln won their first match in 8 attempts, 2-1 over Brentford, a game boycotted by the board of directors in protest at last week's disturbances by the club's supporters. Derek Bell scored the winner, his 27th goal of the season. Hull's 2-1 win at Northampton puts them 3 points clear in the 4th division, with Port Vale drawing 1-1 with neighbours Crewe. Wins for Wimbledon, Bury and Scunthorpe, the first under Alan Clark, 4-0 at Tranmere. And York, their 3-1 success over Stockport, giving them 8 straight home wins.
With the Championship getting nearer to Anfield week by week, First Division interest really concentrates on the European places available now and, of course, relegation. So Roker Park was undoubtedly one of the places to be today. Everton looking towards Europe, Sunderland hoping to stay in the First Division. Everton in the blue shirts, the commentator is Roger Thames.
Stevens looking to set Heath away. Atkins is there. Munro hooks it on. Still Everton come forward. Richardson. Stevens to Sheedy. Could work it wide on the left here to Bailey. Instead it's Ratcliffe who now finds Bailey. Johnson in the inside left channel. And Sharp. And that was definitely a chance he should have taken. He had to wait for the bounce to be right. But Sunderland had given him that yard or so of room in which to operate. Again, the cross played over the face of the Sunderland goal, and there he was unmarked. They all went for Andy King, and he poked that one too high. Coming speed, saw him in there. And he's got the corner kick. I'm sure he'd settle for that. And Sunderland pushed the big men forward. Worthington there at the near post, you can see. James now. Atkins is at the far post. Worthington off the line there by Bailey. Sunderland still looking to turn on the pressure. Venison. And the tame shot there finally. That was certainly Everton's closest call. Venison out for Cummins, deciding to work the left-hand touchline now. And Munro. Flicked by James to Worthington, back for James. Appeals there for the penalty against Bailey, and the referee gave it. And the Everton players gather round Colin Seal, the referee, to protest, led by John Bailey, the culprit. Worthington and James looking to open the Everton defence there, and there was the handle. So it's Gary Rowell against Jim Arnold. And no trouble at all for Gary Rowell. Gary Rowell gives Sunderland the lead from the penalty spot. Kept it low, Arnold dived the wrong way. Bailey trying one. Well, John Bailey nearly atoned for his error straight away then. Certainly not lacking motivation this afternoon, John Bailey. Johnson. And laying the ball into the path of Adrian Heath. And Sharp, and that's the equaliser. Well worked, well taken. Heath, a simple cross, and he really got up high there, Graham Sharp. Richardson one out, but Chisholm was there. Higgins, Andy King, and Gary Stevens. Sharp away again through the middle. Sheedy again. What a magnificent strike from Kevin Sheedy. But he's disallowed it. Disallowed it for offside. Sharp setting up the opportunity in the first place. The ball falling for Sheedy. Got the 1-2 back off Nicol, and that was a magnificent strike. But the offside given. Heading for Sharp. Stevens finds Andy King. Sheedy has to chase for this one. Bailey as ever up there supporting. Comes inside for Heath and King and Stevens and Sharp, and Andy King teeing it up. Oh, great shot, well dealt with by Turner. They really worked that opening superbly, Everton. Controlling the passes. And it was Sharp who finally laid off the ball for Andy King. And Turner punched that one away well. Here comes the cross again, and Turner came for it. And I think it must have been King again, so heavily involved in the action as ever, who finally put the ball away for the goal kick to Sunderland. James. Venison. Again, Everton determined in the tackle, but so too is Venison. Can't find a way through on his own. And finally, he uses Cummins. Nicol on the overlap. And behind for the corner kick. Jimmy Nicol doing the work of the ball boys. So Leighton James it will be who'll take the kick. The defenders clustered at the near post for the numbers 8 and 9 there, Rowell and Worthington. James with the corner kick. Rowell going for it, and Rowell gets it as well. Gary Rowell's second goal of the match. It's 2-1 now. Leighton James with the corner kick, and Gary Rowell arriving there through the gap, and a powerful header there. And Gary Rowell, the leading goal scorer, really is on form at the moment. King, and King really went flying there. A challenge from Ian Munro. And King in some trouble, it seems. Munro's name goes straight into the book. And I think they're calling for a stretcher. Howard Kendall, the Everton manager, out on the pitch. Always a sad sight when any footballer has to go off on a stretcher, and going to have a consoling word there with Andy King. And Irvin still going. Heath, oh, within a whisker there. And Adrian Heath so desperately close to an injury time equaliser there.
Well, sorry about the sound interference there. It was caused by gale force winds at Roker Park. So 2-1 the final score. The Everton manager, Howard Kendall, quite pleased with the way his side played, although from their point of view, there were one or two very unfortunate incidents. Certainly the injury to Andy King in the second half. Now, this was an outrageous tackle by Sunderland's Ian Munro, very lucky to get away with just a caution. Andy King has torn knee ligaments, and he'll definitely miss next Saturday's FA Cup quarter-final at Manchester United. Also, there was that disallowed goal by Kevin Sheedy in the first half. It wasn't easy to spot at the time, but we can clear up the confusion now. Watch out for the player on the right-hand side of the screen as the ball comes back to Sheedy there, number 11. David Johnson is clearly in an offside position. But was he interfering with play as Sheedy scored? That's the age-old question that always leads to a difference of opinion. Well, the goals now from another First Division game today. Notts County against Spurs, who haven't won away from home for 6 months. And watch out for a sensational goal too from John Chidozie.
And now the corner. The man to look out for here is big Brian Kilcline, who's always dangerous on set pieces, just outside the 6-yard box. Corner floated over by Hooks. Shot surely, and it's in from David Hunt. Tottenham failing to clear the ball, and with 8 minutes gone, Notts County have taken the lead. Worthington steaming away, Fashanu and Chidozie both in the area, saved by Clements. Chidozie! Fashanu and Chidozie. He's got round Lacey. Can he find a way through? That was a splendid goal by Chidozie.
3-0 the final score, all the goals in the first half, and Notts County now out of the bottom frame. But note Manchester City's grim position and the fact that they've played more games than any of their rivals. Birmingham still without an away win are bottom, beaten 3-1 at Ipswich. Brighton went down 2-1 at West Ham, even though Jerry Ryan gave them the lead with 8 minutes left. Luton drew 0-0 with West Brom.
Good night from us. We leave you with Phil Neal.
Here's Neal. Well, it was deflected and off the post. Well, suitably encouraged, of course, in the second half, you went off in search of more, and there was one run that maybe that you'll keep with you for the rest of your career.
Yeah, I was willing this. Obviously, got into a great position and carried on going and giving so many dummies. I could see Kenny out on my left-hand side wanting the ball, and it took me a long time to get it to him, and I was willing him to put this away. But obviously it didn't come about. But it was great, that run. Really, I was made up. Somebody related to Stanley Matthews in the dressing room, but I don't know whether that's good or not.